Hey, this is Ferdinand, one of the founders of the Growth Syndicate, and in this short video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about ourselves, how we operate, and how we help B2B companies like you grow. I started the company together with Jolene and Clement. The three of us have spent the better part of the last 15 years helping B2B tech companies in leadership positions in marketing growth and GTM, helping them scale anywhere between 1 million and 100 million in ARR is kind of the range we've operated in. We've worked with companies like Recruity, 3D Hubs, Bud Financial, Impraise, Desk Bookers, Insify, and we've really spent a lot of time building a marketing and growth dream team. We've tried to hire some of the best talent on the continent, people with over 10 years experience who've worked across different industries, tackled different challenges, have a whole range of expertise, working with companies like Vesper, like Ogilvy, like PR.co, RocketX, Typeform, you name it. We've been pretty adamant from day one that we are not just another marketing agency. In fact, we don't describe ourselves as an agency at all, right? We're really trying to present a new kind of solution to companies that want to figure out their marketing and growth. And we found that generally when you're trying to figure this stuff out as a company, if you don't really know what works yet, you don't have that many options at your disposal. You can choose a consultant on the one hand who will come with a lot of strategic expertise and experience, maybe very good instincts. But then when it comes to execution, you still have to figure out how to do that, very often with a long shopping list of freelancers or full-time hires that you need to do in order to actually turn their vision and strategy into practice. On the other hand, you have agencies who are on the other side of the spectrum here. They will bring a lot of firepower, a lot of executional firepower, but they'll be very detached from your strategy, often not have a very strong understanding of your market, and more often than not, you become quite dependent on them. And while there's a really smart, experienced person selling you the deal, somebody quite junior is actually doing all the work. And then finally, one of the options you have is to build an in-house team. And we firmly believe this is the best option in the long run. Over a longer period of time, an in-house team is really something you can invest in. It gives you the best return on investment. But of course, it comes with a lot of risks. Hiring and firing is difficult and risky. And if you don't know what works and you hire the wrong person, which happens very, very often, you kind of risk going in the wrong direction for several months, if not years. So the Growth Syndicate is really designed to act as a stopgap. We have a team of experienced professionals. We've done this before. We have a track record. We have the experience. We can start tomorrow. We build everything in-house, and then we make ourselves obsolete in 6 to 12 months, depending on which service you choose and how big your company is. And then we step out and you can take everything we build forward and be successful without having to depend on us. We've done this with a lot of different companies. I'm not going to bore you with all the details because you can find all this on our website. But the most important thing to note here is that we love to work with B2B SaaS companies and your classic SaaS use cases, but we also really enjoy working in complex industries. We've really earned our stripes in technical industries with complex audiences, niche industries. For example, biotech, manufacturing, construction, energy, AI, enterprise software. These are really spaces that we are very comfortable in and have had very, very good results, which is why when companies end a collaboration with us, they're generally very positive because we're really focused on outcomes. We're not here to generate leads. We're not here to focus on vanity metrics. We're here to help you drive revenue. And the way that we do this is by finding a good balance between short-term and long-term tactics and strategies. What we see generally is that if you're selling a B2B product, most of your market, most of your potential buyers are not currently actively looking to buy. Some studies place this at up to 90% of your market not currently buying. And the problem we see is that a lot of companies, they're spending all of their money, all of their time, all of their effort trying to capture the people who are currently buying. That's less than 10% of your market often. And if you put all your effort there, you eventually saturate and tap out that group. And then you end up hitting a plateau and you stop growing. And we talk to a lot of companies that are struggling with this and need to find a balance between capturing the existing demand on the market, but also making sure that all of the companies that aren't buying today, but might buy tomorrow, next month, next year, that they know about you, they know your brand, they know what problems you solve, and they know why to choose you. This really breaks down into kind of 3 key areas that we focus on: building brand awareness for companies that are not currently looking to buy, capturing the existing demand on the market, basically making sure that any company that is looking to buy finds you and opts for you. And finally, making sure that the marketing muscle is put behind your sales team to make sure that they actually close this demand into revenue. And this all has to be underpinned by a very strong strategic and operational foundation. Now, if you want to translate this into the various marketing skills, disciplines, and channels that you might have heard of or might be considering, this is a little bit what that looks like broken down across these different categories. Now, we've done this very successfully with a number of companies. You can check out these case studies on our website. And like I said, we're really focused on driving revenue. We always talk about turning marketing from a cost center into a revenue driver, putting marketing in the driver's seat, making it a proactive function within your commercial motion. And this is what we've done with the leading biotech company Cradle, for example, or the IT services implementation implementation company Rapid Circle, or the manufacturing companies Cutter and Made in Ad, where we've done everything from implementing account-based marketing campaigns, building thought leadership programs, and actually just revamping the entire marketing function from A to Z. If you do end up working with us, this is what your team could look like, especially if you're opting for the full service fractional marketing service that we offer. This is what your team could look like. And you're always working with some of the best in the business, helping you tackle your biggest challenges and tap into your biggest opportunities. Now, like I said, there are 4 core services that we offer. It starts with our flagship fractional marketing service that I just mentioned, where you get a team like this who come in, they spent the first 2 months auditing your entire marketing and GTM motion, building the right strategic foundations from ICP to messaging, and really building out an entire marketing plan, tapping into the right growth levers, and making sure that you actually are running the kind of campaigns, initiatives, and projects that are going to drive your revenue in the long run. So this usually looks something like this: 2 months audit and strategy, 4 to 8 months of implementation, testing, execution, validation, scaling, and then really the last couple of months being all about scaling, crossing the I's, dotting the T's, and handing over to your team. For companies that don't really know where to start, they don't have to jump into the full service. They can start with just the audit and the strategy foundations. This is often a great starting point if you have big ambitions, you want to tackle and rethink how you do marketing, but you don't know where to start. We can really dive in and just do that part for you. And then you have a really clear view on how you want to continue, whether that's with us or not. And then we have a few other services for companies that have very specific challenges. So for example, sparring, coaching, and advisory. This is focused on companies that want to run the execution themselves. They want to do it themselves. They just want to bring someone with our expertise to really support them on this process. And then the nice thing is you can really tap into the whole expertise of our team, having sessions with anyone that really fits the expertise that you need or the challenges that you're tackling. And then we also have an ABM and thought leadership program. This is our own process that we've now tested and validated and built over the last couple of years, working with dozens of companies to drive success. The Cutter and Cradle case studies I just shared are really good examples of this. And we basically come in, we do a bit of strategic foundation, we do a bit of account setup, we then basically build this thought leadership account-based marketing engine for you, and then we step out within usually 6 to 8 months. So in all of these cases, we give you 2 guarantees. Number 1, within 6 to 12 months, depending on the service you choose, we make ourselves obsolete. And number 2, all collaborations are canceled anytime. It's not in our interest to make you depend on us. We're not here to bleed you dry. You hire us, we do our job, we step out. And if at any point you feel like this is not what you need right now, you can cancel 0 days notice. If you're interested in working with us, if you're curious to learn more, click the Book a Strategy session on our website. We look forward to chatting with you.